Hey, everybody, stop working. It's time for a lunch break. Proudly brought to you by Groove Fishing, changing the way you do tackle. Sunline, the best fishing line on the planet. And Spro, makers of the finest tackle available. All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome to the lunch break this Tuesday, February 17th. Hope everybody's doing good. Hope you had an absolutely fantastic weekend, and hope your work week is starting off well. Got a lot to talk about today. Trying to get my people on TikTok right here going. Zane, let's go Fisher. Absolutely, Fisher and I had a hell of a tournament. We'll talk about that a little bit. And Coleman says the lunch break is back. Kiwi went super good this weekend. We had an awesome time. And Doug Rice is in the audience there. Well, I tell you what. Listen, I and Jeff, how you doing? I've never fished kiwi. I think I would like to fish kiwi for sure. Um, So anyway, Doc Holiday, I want to show you guys this. Actually, I want to wait till some people got on Doc. I'm going to show them that patch that you sent me the other day. Guys, listen, I'll tell you what, we had that conversation where I asked about patches and all that. And this is going to be one of those if you know kind of patches. But I'll wait until we get a few more people on here to show that. Tyler said he had an absolute smash fest this weekend. The fish were not safe. I saw a couple of nice stripers that you had. I was sitting there like, dang, boy. What's up, Tony? So, anyway, though, lots to talk about. We can go anywhere we want to go today. We can talk about what this warm weather is going to do to the fishing this week. I got a tournament this Saturday. It's funny. Tyler showing that he actually sent me a text because I thought I had a tournament this past Saturday, our first electric only tournament with Dahlonega John Boat, Dahlonega John Boats. And then Tim Wyatt, he sent me a text the other night. He's like, dude, it's not Saturday. It's just coming up Saturday. And I was like, I'm glad you let me know that. But anyway, so we got a tournament coming up this weekend. We got this warm weather coming in. Of course, it's going to rain this weekend too. So a lot of factors there. You guys can talk about where you fished this past weekend, like Tyler, because he was killing them according to the pictures. And then what's up, John G. and everybody out there. Tony did an excellent job. Tony does a good job. He's talented. He can do it. And if you guys want to talk a little bit, and I mean an absolute little bit about the dual threat stuff, we can talk about it. I mentioned with that, I mean, it's turned into a crap show for sure. And I mentioned, let's see, last week or 2 weeks ago that I had reached out to the Ethan guy that apparently now is not Ethan. And he actually hit me back about getting him on the show when the controversy was first started, just to say, hey, let me give you a platform to clear the air. And he said, yeah, give me this week and I'll do it. And of course, he has ghosted me like he's ghosted everybody else. Um, and so, you know, it's come out now that I don't even know where the hell it is. Following them guys, some of them, how do you want to say it? Apparently, that's not his real name. Apparently, he's took off, got accomplices, all that. I'm letting the guys like Cerebral Tackle and, of course, Skeeter and Get Your Fish On and Slick and all them. Let them do all the legwork. I'm just going to sit back and just see what unfolds. But it is, Tyler says, I don't feel like there's much on a dual threat to talk about other than someone is going to jail. For sure. They should be if everything is laying out like it's supposed to be. Lanier was on fire Saturday for me, Freezer said. Hey, listen, excellent. I hope it's on fire. Actually, I had a cousin said it was tough. When the Ponzi scheme don't Ponzi. You know what, though? How ballsy do you got to be? Or dumb, either one, to try to pull that off in this day and age of social media? You know what I'm saying? I mean, in this day and age of social media, you're not getting away with anything. People will track you down. Um, I remember Fisher won the second dual threat. He's on fire. Yeah, Fisher. So I think it was Luke Ruth Roth. I don't even know how you pronounce his last name. Is it Ruth or Roth? But you guys know him out Midwest. He's with Evolve Rod Sleeves and all. He said, "How gangster is it that Fisher won $100,000, had it basically taken away from him, and turned right around and won another $100,000?" But I actually listen. I tell you what, probably the craziest thing I've ever seen happen in bass fishing. Now, I did hear Steve Chapman on Get Your Fish. This is the only thing I disagree with him on. He said this is going to be worse for professional fishing than the walleye scandal. I actually don't think it will be, and here's my reason why. All right, with the walleye scandal, you had two individuals stuffing the weights and all that. It was a bad look all around, and even people who are not anglers, they saw it all on social media. It blew up, and I remember Ryan and I think it was my cousin Jason and I. We were fishing with Ryan and Tracy Coker and them up on Chickamauga. We pulled into a gas station, and just some random guy goes, "You guys ain't putting weights in your fish today, are you?" You know, it was that kind of thing. It really was a black eye, and made us look bad. I don't think the general public will really care about some guys running away with some entry fees on a bass thing. I It's definitely wrong. I just don't think that the general public will care near as much about this. So I don't think it's going to be as big of a deal as some are leading on to. Could it? Yes. I mean, I could be wrong, but you get what I'm saying. Uh, Skeeter is going to find that this dude and whip his ass. It probably listen. He wants to. Oh, Luke is coming on Monday. There you go, dude. I just saw it. He's a good dude. I like him. I like him. But that video that he put out, he it's gangsta. Now we got weights and fish, Jeremiah. See, that's what I'm saying. That was a bad look for the anglers. I mean, and it was something that even people who could care less about fishing, because of the fact that you have guys stuffing things down fish's mouth, down their throats. To the average person, that's extreme. All right. Everybody in the world's had to deal with a Ponzi scheme or something like that at one time. I don't think it's near as, I mean, it's newsworthy, but I don't think it's near as important to the general public. So let's see here. What's up, Nathan? My high school teacher asked me about it when the weights and the fish thing happened. See, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people just saw that. That was like viral real quick. The general public doesn't even know fishing for money is a thing. Hate to break it to the fishermen, and that's MB Hensley on TikTok. See, that's my point. You're right, dude. That's kind of where I was going with that. Um, it's just even with the walleye guys, they were cheating and winning a lot of money. I don't think that's what drew the average general person in. It was the fact that here's a couple old guys sticking weights down fish's throats to cheat. I think that's what captured them. Hey, guy took some entry fees, threw a couple of tournaments, didn't pay nobody, and skedaddled or whatever it is he's done. You know what I'm saying? That's like, all right, turn the news, turn the page. Lake Hartwell's been whipping my ass lately, Nathan. Well, listen, I had my cousin fished Lanier this past weekend, and we were talking. He fished it Saturday, and Sunday morning I was sitting there. I'll tell you guys about Sunday morning. Sunday morning I was sitting there watching. I was watching Elites before church and all that, and I was texting him about it, and he was telling me that uh, it was really tough for them and their entire um, club. 17 pounds won their club tournament. And he said the only thing they could get bid on was a minnow. He said they tried everything, couldn't get bid on nothing. So those guys, Tyler's showing up. Those guys didn't need to be waiting those fish. They were good enough to win outright, anyways, without cheating. Yeah, I know, but they did it right. Uh, Coleman, you guys are funny. Rob Jordan said on his story he knew it was a sham when Bitcoin was involved. I can't say he's wrong. Y'all guys remember Will Harkins was on? When Will Harkins was on the show, he was talking about this, and he said, and you get one Bitcoin. And I asked him, I said, well, how do you get a Bitcoin between two anglers? You remember that? We talked about that. So, yeah, I guess too good to be true, right? What's the most you've ever lost in a bass tournament? $150. Now, if you don't count expenses, $200. I'm not throwing around 5-6 grand for entry fees. That ain't my thing. KBF cheater was just as wild, but the drama attached to it was insane. And see that's it. It just what captures the general public's attention. I ain't even called Slick yet. I should have called Slick. I didn't when all of it was going down. I knew Slick was, you saw his videos. He was digging into it and all that. And I just sat back and like, let's see where this goes. And still, it's going to be interesting to see how it plans out. Now, how many of you guys watched the Elites this past weekend? I have to admit, I watched it because we had some local guys. Saturday morning or Sunday morning, 5 out of the top 10 had been on the show recently within the last year or so. It Caleb, Easton Fothergill, Robert G. Emil, and Fisher. So I thought that was pretty cool. But I was sitting there, and we always root for Emil, hometown boy. Hold on a second. Let's see. What's up, Atlanta Safe House? Bama Racer, 2 Racer. I can't even get to the lake. Spun a wheelbarrow and heading to Hartwell this morning. So did you need to look on Clint Cletus's Facebook page. He's got bearing problems right now too. One of those things. I've been there, buddy. But anyway, I was sitting there Saturday morning and I'm watching again. Like I said, Emil's our hometown boy. You kind of pulling for him, but any of those guys, I just thought it was actually kind of exciting. And when Fisher took the lead, and Fisher went in, he took the lead. So Sunday morning, I'm sitting there about 10 o'clock, and I text Fisher, and his dad, Ryan. I said, fixing to head to church, had you on my mind. Can't imagine how puckered up your ass must be right now. Because he supports his son, dude, and he gets fired up and into it and all that. And he basically was like, you have no idea. And I'm like, I probably do, but not on that level. But it was really, that actually was a pretty cool, tournament to watch. They caught fish. We here at Lake Lanier are spoiled with the size of our spotted bass. I thought it was crazy when guys are pulling up spots and they go, oh, it's a giant, and it's 2.5, 3 pounds. And I guess for Lake Martin, that is. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, if you had 5 of the best spots pretty much on average that they caught, you ain't even getting a check on Lanier. It was just interesting to watch. When Fisher started crying after he won, I teared up. Yeah, I shot Fisher a text and everything too, just like, dude, you're on fire. But I did all of them, and there were some good ones. But that kid, I don't know. It's just some people have the it factor, right? Some people just have that it factor. And you can say whatever, like his dad supported him well. He had G-Man mentoring him and others, and say all you want. If you can have all that, but if you ain't got that it factor, it ain't going to help you. Emil, Fisher, all these kids, all these young guys, Easton especially, that it factor. It absolutely was. And I was happy for Fisher. I was. And if Caleb would have won it, and like I said, Easton's been on. What was cool is to see, I will say this, Zaldane. Now, if it had stayed raining and a little windy, the way he was chunking that swim bait early, you never know, right? You just never know. Emil was throwing a chart fluke in February, was not on my bingo card. I saw that. I noticed that too. It was crazy to watch. Okay, Bama 3 Racers. Crazy to watch him shake off the small one in order to catch the big one. It honestly really was. It was interesting, and Emil, was doing that thing, and then Easton went to the swim bait game again, and that Brock guy, boy, he was just. I tell you what, he was committed to that shallow, dirty water and everything. I actually just thought it was just. I'm sitting there going, this is pretty good to watch. Now, the visuals, if you ask me this, you had Gunnersville and you had this one. Everybody always fussed about the scoping tournaments. You're sitting there and it's not fun to watch. And I'm neutral. I don't care either way. Fish with it, fish without it. But I actually thought it was more interesting to watch the Martin, this one that just happened, because they're up there in the boat slips. And one guy's, to me, there were just so many different things going on with the top 10 that Sunday as compared to Gunnersville, where everybody's pretty much throwing a red trap, or, Cherry did change it up with this, chartreuse little swim bait. But I personally, just from a visual standpoint, I just I liked watching Martin better. The fish were a hell of a lot smaller, but I like watching it. Oh yeah, and then Emil said they had some top water. If you heard Emil's interview Sunday morning, he said that they were busting top water early. It's crazy. Fisher is on a hot streak. I'm going to try that minnow fishing. That small one usually flies up first, but they usually don't let go of the minnow. That shaking it off's tough, right? It is really tough. Um, Shaking that one off was an elite move that paid off, kind of like watching Maverick throw the ace without looking at the card. Oh, there you go, bringing in the movie reference. Um, Robert G was fishing how I've been fishing Lanier recently, made me feel kind of cool and much more entertaining than the non-scope. See, that's what I'm saying. Is like, to me, the entertainment value. Now, let me ask you this: was it because you had all these kids and you guys relate to the scopers more because we're out here in North Georgia, or did it matter? I just thought that was like the weights were so close, where like ounces mattered, that it was more entertaining for me. I mean, nobody. I mean, what was it, 15 was a big bag or something like that? That was a huge bag out there. If that was it, I just was like, this is pretty good. Now, I got a bunch of you guys here right now. If you've watched the show for any amount of time, you're going to understand this patch real quick, and we'll get back to the conversation. But I wanted to show it off. A couple of weeks ago, or whatever it was, I was talking about why don't we do patches anymore. Doc Holliday sent me a patch. Now, this is going to be one of those, if you know, you know. And if you're just listening, I'm sorry, you'll have to go back and watch it. Look at that patch right there, boys. If you know, you know. And I just want to say, Doc, thank you very much for sending me this patch. It means a lot to me. Didn't even know that existed. This will be a little keepsake, but you have to know the show right there. Is it a yum yum patch? It certainly is. Yum yum worms right there. If you guys can see it, yum yum worms. And I even like the colors. But thank you, Doc, for sending that to me. He said he the other day he sent me a messenger and he goes, "What's your address? I got something I think you'll like." And it showed up in the mail, and I opened it up, and I just died laughing. I died laughing. I thought it was funny as all get go. On Sunday, I literally questioned why I didn't make the trip to the weigh-in. That's two tournaments within a couple of hours I could have attended. Yeah, I know. I know. So Friday, I had to go to Nashville to the National Wild Turkey Federation Expo or whatever, their 50th year, 50th anniversary. Good God. Listen, guys, I've been to expos before, ICAST and all that. That was the single most crowded expo I have ever been in Nashville. And I will say one thing. If I don't, and I like the turkey hunt. I ain't much of a duck hunter, but if you like that, it's pretty cool. If I hear another turkey call for at least another week or two, I'm just going to flip out, because imagine, I don't know how many thousands of people in the expo, and every other booth is somebody selling a turkey call or a duck call. And every 20 to 25-year-old kid is just wailing on them things, just going crazy. And I'm sitting there like, oh my God. But I went up there and anyway, did some work for Digital Sports, went up there. And as I was leaving, I was like, I wonder if I could catch the weigh-in. And it was still 2 hours away, and I was like, "Nah," but I thought about it. I thought about it. Um, Cole said, "Hey, no way, that's funny right there." Listen, it is funny. Let me get back, catch up on the comments. If they start showing the scope screen, it would bring more viewers, but more hate also. Well, I tell you what, Nathan, listen, they did a lot. Where's the next elite tournament? The next tournament they got is the Classic. And then I think it's Tom Bigby or one of those afterwards. But I think the Classic is the next. I think they got a few weeks off and then the Classic, which we will be there. We're all going to go up there. We're going to hang in Tennessee with our buddy Robert Blesky. And then we'll be at the Classic, walking around the expo. Probably take in a weigh-in or two. But we will be up there. So if you are up at the Classic and you want to say, hey, come by and say, hey, grab us. And let us know you watch the show. We would love to meet you. It's one of the cool things about going to some of these shows. Tony and them can speak on this. Is when somebody walks up and goes, "Hey, I watch your show, or I've seen you on that podcast," like that. It is pretty cool. But that's the next one is the classic, and then I think it's Tom Bigby. I got to shout out my boy Logan Russell for winning the college national championship this past weekend on Murray. That's a hell of an accomplishment. So congratulations to Logan Russell. What school do they go to, if you don't mind me asking? Carson Fowler needs one of those patches. um, we should do that, Tony. Let me pull Tony's up. Maybe we should get, maybe the bike club ought to get vests and patches like it's an MC club, like motorcycle. We should do that. The bike club. Got to have an initiation, though, for you other guys to get in there. We don't talk about bike clubs. The people who hate on scope are usually miserable old farts who don't know how to use it and are mad they get outfished by young kids, the loud minority. Well, I don't know if that's the case. But I would say it is on average older people. How about we don't call them old? What if we call them more seasoned? I mean, like, guys, I'm old. I prefer seasoned. Compared to you, Tyler, I'm ancient. I'm ancient. Doc says he has no idea where he got that patch. Listen, I love it. I thought it was great. And I showed my wife and she just went, ugh. She always got mad at me when we did that. Someone better have the ex-bride mini rod at the Noe Expo. We'll be at the Noe Expo too. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to be there probably Friday and Sunday. I can't come Saturday because I have a tournament now that I thought I'd had last Saturday. So I cannot go this Saturday, but I will be up there. I'm probably going to go Friday from 3 to 7, walk around. Probably doing some work for Digital Sportsman there as well, and then going back Sunday. So if you're there, I don't know where I'll be. Come by and say hey as well. Tony said, yeah, I couldn't do that expo with all the turkey and duck calling. So here's what it is. Here's the National Wild Turkey Federation Expo. You got Macy Watkins over there in her corner doing the meet and greet. Okay, so that was big on that side. But then you got all the Hannah Barons and all the other of the world. And then it's 18 billion people hitting turkey calls. And all these guys that, they were selling, they had some guns there for sale and things like that. And, but they're all either looking up and like everybody was dressed in camo, of course. But I'm talking about you were packed in there. It was elbow to elbow. And kudos for whoever runs the event because parking was $28. Kind of like at ICAST. You guys that go to ICAST, you know what I'm talking about. They get you on the parking. $28. And I mean, I'm telling you what, they made out like bandits on the parking. And that place is big up there. It's over by the Opry, the Grand Ole Opry. So it's not downtown Nashville. It's over in that area. Big hotel place, big thing. But it was a hell of a expo if you're into those kind of things. Now, again, I was there working, so I didn't partake in hit the turkey calls and all that. I've got some turkey calls. I turkey hunt occasionally, but there were some diehards. And then you had Michael Waddell there. You had the people, Realtree was there with all their celebs and everything. So, I mean, you had some celebrity hunters and, people there. I don't know. It was pretty good. So, yeah, so I say found some bass already on bed in Orlando. Well, you should have this past weekend, but I actually was mostly topwater fishing with a speed worm. Seems like pre-spawn is just now getting started here, really. It's getting close. The Noe Expo, like I said, I'll be up there Friday and Sunday, not Saturday. I think Tony's going to be up there Saturday, though. Let's see. Dove and duck hunting is the only form of hunting that interests me. It's like live skeet shooting. It's a blast. Now, duck hunting, I can't get into. I have dove hunted before. But I like to eat things if I'm going to go hunting, if we're being honest, I like to partake in what I hunt. Duck just don't do it for me. Maybe I've never had anybody cook it right. Now, dove, deer, absolutely. Squirrel, occasionally. Rabbit, yeah. But I ain't got no desire to go sit in a swamp waist deep in water waiting for a bird that I'm not going to eat. Now, some guys do, and if you do, I ain't knocking you. It's just not my thing. I'd rather freeze my ass in a tree stand than in water, and it's probably the same thing. My son does not like to. Well, he doesn't like fishing. He'll deer hunt a little, and he likes to duck hunt, and he wants to get into turkey hunting this year. And so I'm gonna take him turkey hunting. There's three rookies that haven't made a cut. Which three? I haven't kept up with the entire rookie class. Um, you heard the curse of Lanier strikes again at Tidwell. Unfortunately, yeah, we saw that. I believe about before I came on, they had said it was like an 85-year-old man. I don't know how he got there. I hate that for him and his family. Um, but again, I don't believe in the curse of Lanier. But Lord, if you read the comments on social media, there's a lot of people that do. A lot of people. Nathan says, I love watching a live scope screen. It makes me want it, but man, it's expensive. Hey, listen, sometimes you got to pay to play, right? I get it, though. I get it. I definitely get it. Jeremiah, do they actually have baits and stuff you can buy at the Classic, or is it all just a showcase and weigh? No, you can shop at the Classic. Red Crest and the Classic, those two you shop at. iCast is the one you can't shop at. Everything else, oh, they got stuff for sale for sure. In fact, I got a hell of a deal at Red Crest last year. I rode out there with Dave and Ken because they were out there with Bass Cat and all that. And I rode out there and I got a hell of a deal on some Bubba scales. I mean, a hell of a deal. And I bought them a lot cheaper than you can buy them around here. I can tell you that. So, iCast, that's what it is. Oh, not iCast, excuse me. The Classic, that's what it is. You'll have, you'll have everybody at the Classic, and it'll be packed in there like sardines for sure. Jeff, definitely, if you're going to be in Knoxville, dude, look us up. We're going to go up. La, 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 la. We'll do the show Thursday night. We're going to leave Friday at some point, head up there. Might go straight to the expo that day. I don't know. And then we'll stay at Rob's house, and then we'll be back and forth Saturday and Sunday. I plan on being at the weigh-in, find a weigh-in on Sunday, and hopefully get to talk to some of the guys that fish it that I know. But there's also too at the Classic guys that did not qualify for the Classic. They'll be in the booth, so you'll see a lot of guys. You'll be able to go up and talk to the anglers and everything. It's going to be a good time. Tyler will be at Noe on Sunday. Okay, Eric said he's going to fish Sunday, but he'll swing by. What's up, Kendra? Let's see. Lander University. Okay, 3 times national champs. That is awesome. My brother hates forward-facing sonar because he doesn't have one. I get it. What's the best, cheaper way to get live scope on a kayak? I will say this. I know everybody talked about the little Eagle, whatever, the Eagle 9 or whatever. That's about $1,000. But I know, like, I remember hearing Tim White and other guys say you could go get a used 32 Garmin for about the same, and you would get better, especially below the boat coverage on that. I don't know that to be true. Some other guys might be able to say that better on that. Eric goes, I'm old, but scope just made sense to me. It clicked, and I love it. It was cool watching. I mean, it was cool to sit back and that. What's really cool too, and I know you guys might not get into these details, but I always like seeing what palette color the anglers are using. Are they in the greens? You know what I'm saying? I kind of like that. But how many times did they shine down just in time to see that bait going down? You see that fish come up and they pan to the angler right there, and fish or a meal or one of them were like, ugh. But it was always funny, like, oh, that's a big one. That's a big one. And they get up, well, it wasn't as big as I thought. And big being 3 pounds. Crazy. I'm not fishing the TEC. I don't do that. And but unfortunately, unfortunately, depends on who you go. I know they had to reschedule to Hard Labor Creek because whatever lake they were on, there was a big boat tournament going out of there, so something like that. Tony said I'll be there Saturday and Sunday. Can't make Friday because of work, so I'll be there. Tony, I'll be there. I'm gonna walk through probably Friday, but Sunday I'll be there for sure. Was Megan Maroney there or Sydney Sweeney? I didn't see them. There were some lookalikes there, though. There was definitely some lookalikes. Let me try to catch up. You guys are talking about rods. Tyler said, I don't think it's cursed either. It's just busy and full of idiots in the summer, and then the car is just a sad thing that happens sometimes. Yeah. Messick said the Classic has some killer deals. You have any info on hard labor? Yeah, well, largemouth mostly. Uh, Bobby on TikTok, absolutely. Best and the cheapest live scope, build a flogger. Get one of them street cones and put some glass in it and build you one, look down in the water like that. Now it's clear without the amount of water that we've with the little amount of rain, because we're in a drought. They say the south side of Lanier is really, really clear. That flogger, you might be able to look down there and see if you can find some spots moving up. Let's see. Plus, you get free stuff at the Classic and the Red Crest. Yeah, sometimes you can. The BBT is at Hartwell. I need to buy a couple of casting reels. I'm selling two today that never used, but not good ones. Question: why don't they run BBT or bass tournaments out of Buford Dam Ramp? There's like 7 ramp lanes total. Because Tyler, the reason is sometimes it ain't so much the ramp. Is if you want a bass event, that city or that area, that location, they're throwing money at bass to get them there. You're going to have to get somebody to throw money to get them to come back. And if they, I mean, you got Hartwell up there paying them X. Think about this. Why does Hartwell get all 3 of the major trails and then 10,000, the other ones? And how few Lanier gets? Money. Money. Who you got in BBT? I don't know yet. I haven't even really looked into it that much. I guess, sheesh, would you go against I guess Wheeler or Connell? Are they in it? I'm sure they are. I'll do Noe on Friday mostly because Mike Buka is dropping new bull shad baits. I'll leave some for the rest of y'all though. He's dropping some badass looking herring baits. I don't know if you guys seen the picture of them, but if you're in the Buka baits, they are just the picture. Lord, absolutely awesome looking. I know it's not smart, but I do have $1,000 I could spend at Noe, but I know I shouldn't. Yeah, I know, right? You guys. So Tony said the south side of Lanier is very clear enough that the sinking neck spot is a lot further down than you realize. It is. Coleman said, visit Anderson. The guy up there kills it. He does. All right. I finally caught up with the comments. I didn't know how far behind I was. Now, what do you guys think this week? Because you guys are talking about Noe and that's Saturday, but like I said, I got a tournament. We've been cold. We're warming up this week to like almost record highs. Last week, the water temps were upper 40s, kind of going up a little bit. I went with Big Bait John last Thursday. We didn't do a lunch break. The water on on a hickory log was in the 40s. We got an entire week, and you were fishing a certain way. Now we got an entire week of heat, and then a front moves through. But I think the actual front doesn't get through till Sunday. But we got some rain ahead of it and all that. How's that going to affect the fishing? What do you guys think it's going to do? Are they coming to the Noe in Greenville? I'll check some of them out. I don't know. Noe has 3 shows this year. He has Cartersville, Greenville, and he's got somewhere, I think, down in Florida that's going to be more of a saltwater show. He does a good show. He does throw a good show. Hold on, let's see. Doug says, I'm going to Noe Saturday, but I can't make any secret purchases because the wife will be with me. Why are you taking your wife to the Noe show? Why would any man take his wife or a significant other to a fishing expo? Let me hit Dylan Akins real quick. 8 to 10. Anyway, all right. Sorry about that. Trying to work on some stuff for tonight's show. I've got a tournament with Dowie Saturday. I'm stoked to see what they're doing. Jeremiah says, crazy warming trend coming. Get shallow and throw a square bill. Yeah, that might be it. Now, we're going out of Young Deer. It's electric only. So I'll be on the south side. I guess I always consider that south end of Lanier. And the water's clear. I'm hoping this rain stains it up a little bit. Coleman said, I'm hoping to get some smallies this weekend. But what do you think it'll do to the actual bite? Like, how much do you think the water temp will raise within 1 week? within 1 week of 70-degree days, 40-degree nights, some rain coming in, possibly starting I think it might be Thursday, Friday, and a lot of storms coming through Saturday or something like that very early. I'm hoping it gets out of here. Wind will probably be picking up too. It's going to be definitely different. Nathan said, I think I've decided I'm going to buy the Eagle 9 Live Scope bundle. And listen, if that's all you can do and it's in your budget, get it. And it'll give you something down there for sure. I do not have it. I don't know. I know a couple guys that had it, that had bought it, but they actually sold it before they put it on there because Garmin ran some kind of crazy sale, and they were able to just spend a few more dollars and do the Garmin. You guys going to Noe? What are you looking for? Jeremiah said he's going there for Buka's baits. I'm seeing rods in there. I mean, what do you look for, or you just like to go look? Do you actually go to purchase? Or you like to window shop, or you just go to be seen, or you go to talk to people? I mean, what's your purpose of going to an expo like that? Just curious as what you guys do, because a lot of you guys got 90% of the stuff that's going to be for sale. Are you going to restock, re-up? Are you just like going to see Tony? Everybody's going to go see Tony. Tony's a superstar. Uh, Probably 3 degrees. You think the water's only going to go up 3 degrees? Okay. Hensley said you should be able to catch some early staging largemouth on some shallow docks over creek channels. I was thinking that might come into play. Danny, start in 90 foot working into a pocket, have the scope down to 75 foot. They'll be cruising the timberline. And we do have scope on this boat that we're using, so definitely that'll be good. I'm only coming to the Noe show to meet you. Nah, you better listen. Ain't you got something better to do? Now, see, Coleman said he's no scoper. We do have it on this one. And Tony's laughing. No, Tony's superstar. Tony Collin will be there in the Brazalo booth Saturday doing autographs for all you guys right there. $10 a pop if you want Tony's autograph. If you want him to sign your significant others, $15. Tony got to make some money. Let's see. Looking for a deal on AFCO rain gear. And I just like to look around. Okay, so you're going there with a purpose. Coleman said, I'm banned from spending money until March. But that's my birthday month, so the floodgates will open. Oh, she done locked you down. Marriage, huh? You've been married since December and you're already on budget lockdown, Coleman? Oh, my Lord. Budget lockdown in 3 months. 3 months, dude. Oh, Abby got you, man. I love it. I'm going to get Tony to sign my Tony Collin fishing hat, as you should. Bring in extra Sharpie. Get Tony to do it. Kendra said, I always spend so much money at the expos. Bought 3 rods, a new AFCO rain suit, some baits, and AFCO gloves. Yeah, I get it. I need a chaperone if they have Sakamadas. I'm losing the house. I posted on the group page, guys, Tackle Barn up in, I think it's in Adairsville. They just got loaded up with Sakamadas because I just approved that post for the Fish North Georgia group page. So if you're in the area of Adairsville, the racks are full. Don't know how long he's going to have them. Shout out to Tackle Barn. And ain't that where old Mullet Angler works too? That boy right there. I don't know him and his damn haircuts. AOI Chris Johnston, 58th place right now. Yeah, listen, it's early though. It's early. I'm telling you what, I still think Trey McKinney's going to win it. He's just consistent. He might not win every one of them, but good grief, is he not there all the time? If he ain't in the top 10, he sure as the hell is around it. Tyler said, I live 30 minutes from Tackle Barn. Well, you better get your ass up there. Depps is a brand listed to be there, Tyler. Coleman said, sure. Let's see here. Jeremiah. You should be able to get up the creeks where that warm rain creates some warm stain moving water and catch a few on a spinnerbait. I think it'll warm maybe 5 degrees since it's warm day and night. That's pretty good. Farmer said he's going to try to get over there either Friday or Sunday. Jeremiah Kendra lives in Michigan. That'd be a long distance relationship for you. Tyler, if they had the minnows I ordered, you might have to grab a pack. I'll be looking. Oh, here we go. What's up, DS? I'll be looking for deals on a certain reel and hanging out. Look forward to seeing everyone there. He's talking about the Noe show. And yeah, we talked about that earlier. Patricia, dual threat being a scam. Like I said, the Ethan or whatever his name is, when he texted me 2 weeks ago, he's ghosted me as well. And I'm like, being honest, is like, I really don't care. Um, Tyler's going to spend $1,000, and so depths will be there. But Tackle Barn does have it. I know Tackle Barn does have the Sakamatas, 5 inch. I believe it's 5 inch because I put that on there. Now I like what Jeremiah said. Spinner bait up shallow and some stain. Uh, I don't want to scope. We got the scope. I don't want to go scoping. Because I tell you what, a big bait John and I, when we went to Hickory Log the other day, he's got scope. It was so frustrating. He was throwing an A rig. I threw jerk baits and all that. I only took like 2 rods. I did not bring a worm rod. I did not want to throw a wacky or a Nico or anything that I know I could catch fish on. I committed to the jerk bait and a square bill pretty much. I threw a chatter bait a little bit. I tied off, but that was it. Um, Apparently there's a $10,000 reward on someone that can find out where he is. Okay, there you go. MB Hensley said that on TikTok. So hey, if you know where the guy is, go get you 10 grand. Go get you 10 grand. I will say this though. Let me say one more thing about that, and then I won't. People need to be careful what they're saying on social media, because if you put something out there and it ain't true, like, there's a lot of outlandish statements, and there's some guys that are dealing with the facts. But there's other people out there throwing some really outlandish stuff, and it ends up not being true. You just always got to be careful about that libel suit or something like that. Whatever it is they can get you on, you just got to be careful. I need some 4 or 5 socks. I got plenty of the 5s coming. Okay, I don't know. I think that's what it is. Kendra says, I'm on tight budget. Wrecked my truck. Sorry about that. So I had to buy a new one. To me, yesterday, my daily driver car blew up too. I've had bad luck following me right now. Been there. Been there. Eric said, I won't be going on Friday. I'm pre-fishing. Yeah. Well, I hope back to what I was saying on the live scope with Big Bait John. It was frustrating to watch him. First of all, hardly any bait where we were fishing, probably glued to the bottom. Very frustrating to watch him throw his A rig and watch things run from it. And I ain't talking about following it. Maybe you see that every once in a while. They would run from that joker. And it was like, and he was just getting pissed. He was just getting mad as all get go. I did catch about 1.5 pound brim on a crankbait. What it planned on doing with it, I don't know. It was bigger than the brim was pretty big, but it couldn't fit in his mouth. I don't know what that thing was thinking. Caught some bass. And then after I left, because I had to come back, John went back out because he said he wasn't getting skunked. Let's talk about bite windows here. He said about 4:30 it kicked on, and he caught 12 after 4:30. Must have been I was just bringing bad juju to it. Should have switched to a minnow. Well, I guess so, but he wanted to throw the A rig, and I was throwing the jerk bait. No, I committed to that, but I really want to do. I want to throw spinner bait. I'd love to be able to throw a spinner bait Saturday and catch some largemouth. I mean, you're not gonna catch 5. I'm not gonna weigh in 5 largemouth, but I'd like to catch 1 or 2. Let's go Fisher. Absolutely, Zane, 100%. What's up, Atlanta Outdoors? Guy from my hometown got fired from Georgia Power. He made a Facebook comment that was essentially throw pedophiles in a wood chipper. And what happened to him? You see, you got to be careful. And I've had to learn too. And what's up, Clint? I've had to learn to, when you get sponsors and stuff, you can't say certain things. It's been tough on me. There's a reason why you don't hear me going. I think from now on, I might just have to do that instead of saying it. Just keep this and just pull that out. White worm on Texas rig when it's stained, Nathan said. Interesting. We talked about that the other day. The only white worm I've ever thrown was a trick worm. That gray War Eagle spinnerbait is pretty good on hickory log. Didn't throw spinnerbait, like I said. Just I took a couple rods, was committing to two baits. Something that I suck at doing because I normally will pull out a Nico or a Wacky and then just go catch fish. Clint, you might have seen me Saturday. I'm one of the few all red boats, Coleman said. And okay, you said that. They fired him for violence on the pedophiles for saying that. Yeah, you just have to be careful. Your social media posts will come back to haunt you. Come back to haunt you. Now, I don't ever plan for running for public office, so I'm not worried about that. But think about that. They have people that just scour you. You know, when you go fill out an application, especially at a larger corporation or something, they check it out. So you always have to be careful um, with that. So right now, I'm working on for tonight. I know me and Clint are going to be on. I got a couple of guests, hopefully local. We're going to talk about some North Georgia stuff if they can make it. If not, me and Clint are just going to bloviate. But we're going to cover. I think it'd be really interesting to break down the first two elite events. Um, yeah, I agree with you right there, Tyler. Nathan said I was throwing a white H2O trickworm. Okay. I know you wasn't growing it. You were throwing it. I followed you on that. I kind of figured you wasn't growing the white worm. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would have killed to have had a Nico. I just absolutely and Big Bait John knew it. He was like, dude, you should have brought your worm. It was like a worm down. I'm like, I know, dude, but every time I do that, I never commit to learning it, trying to work cadence. And I mean, I caught fish on jerkbait and all that. War Eagle the best. Free speech, First Amendment. No, sir. Free speech is not without consequences. Yeah, you can say whatever you want to say, but that doesn't mean you can't be held accountable for it in certain things. And a lot of companies have code of conducts and things like that. So I mean, I get it, but it's just like on Facebook. Facebook's a private corporation. It's a private company. You can't just say whatever you want to say. I mean, you can. They'll take it down. They might ban you. But I get what you're saying, War Eagle the best. Sometimes though, yeah, you have to just be careful. I mean, like I said, free speech is not without consequences. That's honestly why my Facebook isn't my real name. I'm a salesman and don't need a customer finding something they don't agree with and firing me. For sure, I get it. Uh, Cletus did not fail. You didn't fail us. It's all right. And Fisher and all them are busy too. Trust me. Talking to them. Let's see. Saying you have to be careful. You kind of hits home as soon as I go live with my podcast and I have 3-0 shot. Oh, okay. Let me read that again. Saying you have to be careful. What I just said kind of hits home as soon as he goes live with this podcast and he has 3 shot there. It might be touch and go. He has no filter. That's it. And sometimes, you just have to kind of learn. You'll learn. Um, Dave Aldridge, they bit a small swim bait in minnow yesterday, even with the high pressure. There you go. I was wondering what it would be like after that rain had moved through and everything. Farmer said, I would like to see what the weights are from this weekend with this large warming trend. I think there'll be some really big lips caught. That's what I'm kind of wondering, even though I'll be on Lanier. We can get a little stain back in some of them creeks. Free speech died with the Bush administration. Look, Tyler, was you even alive during the Bush administration? Oh, I caught bass on a Koike just like the cool kids. I got some Koikes coming. I got a few of them coming. Kendra, I do not go into politics on my Facebook. I own a business, so I'm always careful what I say. Absolutely, you got to be. Um, I threw the dice bait once. The fish followed and didn't commit. I issued an expletive to myself and put it in the rod box for the rest of the day. I'll try it again soon. Listen, there were guys throwing it. Mine have not arrived yet. They are coming. Um, you do have to be careful. A lot of you guys, like, there's been 3 episodes of this show. Now, I've gotten plenty of emails from people about things that have been said on the show. That happens a lot more than you guys think. I'll get the email. And anytime I see it in there and it's an email and I don't know the person, I said, I've done made somebody mad with what I said on the show. But it hasn't happened in a while. But there's been about 3 shows where I've had to kinda you don't see them no more for good reasons. Let's just say that. Water temp was 51 on Lanier. Not many pushed up yet. Big fish was a 5.42 spot. Good Lord, I'll take that Saturday. Uh, when people don't like what I say it again. Yeah, you could. Here's a good question. What is the best color for the koiki? White, silver? Um, oh, I forget the specific name. There's been some really, I mean, there's some really cool ones out there. Um, I haven't thrown it yet, so I don't know what the best color is. Mark Johnson said they were biting a 2.8 swim bait on Hartwell Saturday. Thank you for throwing that out there to us. Um, yeah, the Blue Waffle Show, Jeremiah. Every action it's still on there. Every action has a consequence, even if it's just words. People wear their feelings on their shoulder. Someone will be offended. For sure. All right, you guys that throw the koiki, though, what's the best color that you've had luck with? And I'm telling you, listen, I know they make a lot of ones, but the green pumpkin, it works in that color too, from what people have told me. I'm just looking forward to getting mine and actually trying it. I haven't tried it yet. I haven't jumped on that bandwagon. But my wife, uh, the boss, was off yesterday and she's off today, so she was cleaning out the kitchen cabinets. And I went in there and she's got those silicone little trays that I guess you can make chocolate in, little chocolate squares and stuff. And I said, you know what guys do with that? I said, they go melt some worms in the microwave and they pour them into that and get the little cubed ice baits and then they thread some jig material through them and all that and they fish with them. And I was just she's looking at me, she goes, don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. I said, okay. Here's the colors. Eric said, I like the pinkish color War Eagle, but GP can never go wrong. Oh, you're talking about spinnerbait. Tyler said, I'd say the reddish brown color. Danny, only a few boats came to pre-fish on past Sunday at Young Deer. Well, that's because my tournament ended up being this coming up. So, and with the weather, a couple of them were fishing a solo trail and all that. Hopefully just the fish will be biting. Clear pink salmon and watermelon seed. Dave Aldridge, watermelon or a green pumpkin? And how about this? Let me ask you guys this. What size were you throwing? Have any of you guys thrown the really big ones yet? Or you kind of going with the smaller size? Just out of curiosity. Yes, I'm asking for me. Help a friend out. There are a lot of fish shallow on Allatoona, but it's day to day on what they want. One day they'll eat a crankbait, the next day they run from it. I got it. Kind of like my love life. Which one do you take for pre-spawn? The 30, 40-pound limit or just one bass over 10 mixed in with your usual catch? Oh, now when you say a 30, 40-pound limit, are you talking about best 5? Because I would say if I could if I'm in a tournament and I can pop a 40-pound limit of 5, I mean, that's a little under what? That's a hell of an average. I don't have to have that 10-pounder. If I could throw, I think a 40-pound limit's more impressive than a 10. Just me personally. Because I have fished tournaments, I ain't caught 40 pounds in a month. Tyler said the 17 millimeter didn't work. Clint said the 17 doesn't work either. Okay. Koiki has 13, 17, and a very big one. 13 millimeter is a safe bet. What's up, Tom? Appreciate your being back too. Took 39 to win at Santee last weekend. Good Lord. 39? Eric said, what size do y'all like, Tyler and Clay? And I think you might have meant Clint. So 13 is a safe bet for them. So I guess So when you go in with the 13, you're getting really, really down to the finesse part action of it, I would guess. You guys working it? If you're going to tell you working it weightless, you working it on a drop shot, how you guys working it? If you really want to throw it out there, we'll see if you do. 39 pounds to win at Santee last weekend. Wow. Atlanta Outdoors. What is the preferred way to rig the fuzzy baits? I tried them once a few ways and had no luck last year. There were 40 bags over 25 pounds at Santee. Holy Toledo. Now, Farmer says a 40-pound is an 8-pound average. So statistically, you will have one double digit. You probably should. I mean, that's what I'm saying. But I would take a 40-pound limit in a tournament any day over a 10-pound bass. Sorry, that's just something. That's like bragging rights because you took 40, you probably won that tournament. So no, you got paid, you got some bragging rights, and people are going to remember a 40-pound bag. Fished a koiki like a minnow for suspended, like a Nico for shallow. Okay, Nico rigged the dice. So there you go. That's guys are talking about how you do that now. I haven't fished a dice bait yet. My best limit is 31 pounds from the bank, but never got the double digit. So I'm kind of thinking I want the double digit. Now I get it. Mark Johnson said for the dice baits, core tackle makes a weighted screw lock hook. Weighted screw lock hook, core tackle. Murray Messick says if you had 20 pounds, you were in 41st place. Woo. Good Lord. You get into these largemouth. Those are all got to be all largemouth. Finally got the Amethyst Cast Nico worm. Can't wait to fish it. It's a good looking worm. And Coleman will be going to Murray this year. All right. So tonight, again, 8 o'clock, 8 to 10, me and Clint will be on for sure. Who our guest will be, I don't know yet. I have reached out to Brooks Anderson and Dylan Aiken, some of the local hammers, to see if they want to jump on with us. I can't guarantee they will. Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano are having a cage fight on Netflix. Dude, listen. I never got into women boxing. I never got into women, whatever the hell that is. There's just something that's just off-putting to me about women pounding on each other's heads. I don't know. I'm not trying to be like snobbish or anything. I just have never been one to be able to watch women boxing or anything like that. I'm all for it. They can go do it. It's just, now mud wrestling's different. I'm going to get in trouble for that comment. Took 70 pounds for 3 days on Murray. Crazy. Now, okay, here we go. Mark Johnson. Core tackle screw lock does not work well with the elastomer in the koikis, unfortunately. There you go. So Clint said that over here on YouTube. Get slick on and listen. I meant to hit you back, dude. I didn't know, Justin, that you texted me last night. I actually went to bed early, so my bad on that one. God, if I got slick on, I just don't want to go 2 hours on dual threat. I really don't, but it would be fun because he's probably in a mood. I guarantee you, Slick is in a mood when he gets like that. I'd like to hear what Kaz has to say about the dual threat. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'll do a learn it the hard way trailer bearing replacement seminar, Clint said. Brooks is fishing Toyota series. Oh, gun. Okay, so yeah, he might not be on. I just reached out to him. I hadn't heard back from him. I just threw it out there. So just to try to see some of the local guys there. But it might just be me and Clint. And me and Clint can bullshit our way for 2 hours. We can do that. Trent said for sure he's in the mood. He is. Slick's in the mood. But anyway, all right, guys, we're going about an hour. So I'm going to head out. I've got some work I've got to do. So tonight, 8 to 10, just come back for the live well. And if it's just this, we'll do this again. I'm telling you, I mean, we went an hour with nothing. Me and Clint could do 2 hours, but hopefully we'll get some people on. We can talk about the differences in the Gunnersville and the Martin event. We can talk about all that kind of stuff, talk about what the bite's going to be. We can talk about replacement. Emil, because I'm pretty sure he's owed a good amount of money. Well, Emil uh, originally was going to come on tonight, but he might not be able to get done with what he's doing, so he's going to come back on, I think, next Tuesday. So we got a guest for tonight. I don't know who Alex has got for the kayak tomorrow night. Thursday night we've got what's his name? Brzalo Lures fellow. I always forget his name because I just say Brzalo's. He'll be on because he's going to be at Noe. Then Emil the following Tuesday, and Matt Stefan will be, because he was sick, he'll be coming back next Thursday. So, but hey, we'll figure it all out. But you guys come. I know both of you could talk fishing for 2 hours. You never know where we'll end up. But come on back tonight about 8, and we'll do that. We'll have some fun with it. You guys that are at work, don't work too hard. Sorry I missed last Thursday. I feel like I haven't done a live, and like when I haven't done one in 5 days, it feels like I haven't done one in a year. But Arbalo, that was just I knew his name was Danny. I just couldn't remember his last name. Arbalo. I didn't want to say Danny with Brzalo, but I wanted to use his last name, but I can never remember his last name. Saved my life. But y'all come back this afternoon. We'll have some fun with it. Next Tuesday will be a national holiday. And Fisher might die down by then. I might see if Fisher, I'll reach out to him, see if I can get him on. He's got to go through the important podcast first. But we'll see. Hold on a second real quick. Let's see. Woo! Okay, so Dylan won't be able to do it tonight because he's got sponsor dinners tonight. See, yeah. That's guys, you think they just get the free baits. There's stuff they got to do. Anyway, you guys be good. I'll see you tonight at 8. Don't work too hard. Have a great rest of your day. Be safe going home. Go home, get you something to eat. Jump on the show tonight.